Hey, shalom everyone, this is Chris Shoemaker, also known as Yehuda Ben Shomer, and welcome to the Daily Drash. Today's Daily Drash, we're going to be in Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 9, and I'm going to be reading another passage from Proverbs that kind of links up with this. It says, "The generous will themselves be blessed, for they share their food with the poor." And Proverbs 28:27 says, "Those who give to the poor will lack nothing, but those who close their eyes to them receives many curses." Now, let's be honest. We here live in the Western world. We live in a land of plenty. We live in a land of milk and honey. We have just about virtually anything that we could ever want or ask for or need at our fingertips. We may not have everything that we want because maybe we're not so economically stable as some rich guy, but we have all that we need. And I don't know about you, but have you ever been annoyed flipping through the channels and seeing these commercials that try to tug on your heartstrings? Like all these children's charities, that she shows starving children in Africa and everything like that. And have you ever gotten so frustrated that you just flip the channel just so you don't have to watch it, just so you don't have to see it? Because after all, there's been scandals, with TV evangelists, with Christian ministries, and with these charity ministries. We realize that everything that we give, all of it doesn't go to these children. Sometimes a very small percentages go to that children. And we get angry and we just flip the channel and we just don't want anything to do with it. But let me remind you what Proverbs says. It says, "Those who give to the poor will lack nothing, but those who close their eyes to them receive many curses." And again, the generous themselves will be blessed, for they share their food with the poor. So what am I saying? Am I saying you have to give in to these, children's organizations, charity organizations, where food and clothes and education, that you see on TV? No, but I'm saying, bloom where you're planted. Work where God has placed you and where God has put you. All around you, there are people that are in need. If you check carefully, and if you look carefully, and if you just open your eyes and you pay attention, you will see needs of your family, neighbors, friends, coworkers, classmates, even people from your own church. And if there's any way that you can help, not that you have to, as the Pharisees did, toot a horn and say, "Hey, look everybody, I'm giving to the poor," or whatever, but doing something in secret, giving something anonymously, sending an anonymous a check or gift card through the mail, or having groceries put on somebody's doorstep, whatever, or whatever it takes, buying clothes or for their kids or whatever, or squaring off an electric bill or a utility bill that they're way behind on. I don't know, but the thing is, God says that when you give to the poor, when you bless the poor, when you help the poor, that God's going to give right back to you, that you're not going to lack, that you're actually going to increase. And do we believe God's word or not? To be perfectly honest with you, I have a real hard time believing that. I have a hard time sometimes thinking, gosh, I got my own bills to pay and I'm just squeaking by. Heck, I'm in debt. I need this money to pay off my debt and my bills. I can't afford to give to somebody else. But really, can we afford not to give to somebody else? Do we really believe God's word that he's going to give back to us, that he's going to provide for us if we help those that are in need and those that lack, right? I think of the story of the man who owns the Caterpillar company, the one with the big excavators and the big yellow machines, Caterpillar. Well, this guy's a believer. And, he started, giving 10% of his income, and he noticed all the success that he had and how God has provided. We decided to push it to the limits and test God. And slowly he began to give 20% and 30%, 50%. He was giving almost 100% of his income, and the guy was still rolling in the dough. He was still rich. His company's still successful, and he's giving the majority of his income to other people, and yet still he has plenty to spare. God, he tested God, and God proved himself to this guy, So I'm preaching to the choir here. I'm preaching to myself as well as to you guys. So I challenge myself and I challenge you, look for opportunities to give in the community, whether it be of your time, whether it be, financially, giving to those that are less fortunate and giving those in need, and not expect anything in return, but knowing that God is going to bless you and God is going to provide for you if you sacrifice. Because think of the woman who gave in those 2 pennies in the temple. Yeshua said, this is a poor woman. She literally gave her last 2 cents. She literally gave everything that she had. And so the Lord's going to bless her for it. And that widow, she definitely had faith. So do we have enough faith to give, even though we ourselves have bills to pay and debts to pay? But if we help somebody else, God's going to help ourselves because we are God's ambassadors. We are his hands and feet extended. Sometimes we are people's answer to prayer. Catch you later, guys. Shalom, Shavua Tov. Thanks for watching. Stay connected by subscribing to our other social media accounts and visiting our website at abrahamsdescendants.com.